We were talking about Daniel Jones earlier this week and how great he was against the blitz against the Broncos, and we talked about it with Bruce Arians a little bit and AQ Shipley, and they were saying like some of these teams, they don't have sight adjustments anymore, and they don't have hots. I was asking you, like, overall, is that what separates a good quarterback from a great quarterback, is against the blitz, knowing your sights, knowing your hots, and is that why young quarterbacks sometimes tend to struggle coming into the NFL?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great point. I think schematically, when you do put together an offensive system, we always talk about proactive adjustments, and some teams don't believe in having sight adjuster or a hot system built in. It's more, make the protection adjustments. So it kind of varies scheme to scheme, but definitely that's something that when you go back and you look at the training and training camp, because the live work, the live teamwork. Because the speed of the pressure is so important for the development of quarterback. Flipping to the other side of the ball, and I learned this from Dahn Capers back in '09 when he came to the Packers. We were talking about the preseason. How much pressure to run in the preseason versus not showing your pressure and just playing coverage and standard defense. And the point that he always made, which I still see that's true, and I obviously used it on the other side of the ball offensively, is the defensive players got to learn to play to the speed and the time clock of pressure defense. So having pressure defense for a young quarterback in the training component is critical. And I think that's probably, along with I think Bruce's comments, is a key to their development.
Can you tell me a little bit about confidence and what that can do for a quarterback, especially when you come out like Danny Dimes, new home? Obviously, a lot of shit has been said about you. And then the first 2 weeks, you're playing damn near perfect football. Your choices, your options are all right. Your throws, all on the money. Your decision-making on when to run, seemingly right. You're taking huge shots, you're bouncing right back up. It's like, that's a great way to start a new relationship in life, but definitely with a new team, right? Confidence has to be a weapon for Danny Dimes and Shane Steichen at this point?
No, absolutely. I mean, and you get the big win over there in Denver, too, is awesome. No, confidence is really what it's all about. That's what moves the needle. That's what moves the needle for the player. That's what moves the needle for the offense, the defense, and ultimately moves the needle for the team. And then the fans and everything, the external energy increases. But I'm really happy to see his success. He's had some tough moments, but I always thought he was an excellent prospect, both in the pocket and out of the pocket. And it's great to see him have the success he's having in Indianapolis.
Was it against you we saw him just running, striding out? Was that against? It feels like it was on primetime games, which is normally against him.
No, I mean, I think the one year he had, 3 touchdowns over 50 yards? I mean, he can run. No, he can definitely run. But yeah. I just think he needed a little more time in the pocket in the earlier days because he definitely has that ability.
Our source says close to Danny Dimes tell us that he's only 28 years old. The body feels like it's only getting faster. So enough with the wow surprise, you can still run stuff. Because this weekend against Denver, defensive end or outside linebacker, I don't know who it was, within a foot of him, he switches gear, gets around this guy. Like, it looked like Tyreek Hill, kind of like getting out of a phone booth almost. And it was right in front of us. And I'm like, I didn't know Danny Dimes still had that. And then I was told promptly, 28 years old, what are we talking about? He's still young.
Mm-hmm. And he got blasted before. We've seen him get crushed and pop up too.
Yeah, he's really hitting his climax here. Yes. And so are we. You know what I mean? Just like those glory holes. We're always looking for those glory holes. Right down there in Dallas, I've learned the glory hole is what we're all seeking, right? Is that right? I heard Jerry Jones say that, Coach.
Are we jumping to the oil business now, Pat? Or
I'll tell you what, after learning I could buy an $800,000 rig and potentially make $100 million, I certainly thought about it. I've certainly thought about it. I don't know how the modern age is with oil, and I don't know if we're trying to find it still. Think we should. Sounds like it's the right move. But if I could get one of those rigs to get down there and cough like any mammal would, and then start to bleed, and then start to hiss, and start to howl out, and I knew it. I said, we found it. There's a glory hole down there, and this $800,000 rig just penetrated that thing beautifully. You never know what's on the other side. You never know.
No, you don't.
Because you might run into something you don't want to run into down there. That's why I keep your eyes off it. But every once in a while, you find that glory hole, and magic starts happening for everybody, right? That's what we're doing with Dallas Cowboys, that we're trying to do?
You talking with the Cowboys or with the oil? The glory hole? Yeah, I mean, that's,
go ahead.
I don't know what you're asking me. I don't want to get in trouble.
You know more. Whoa! We're talking about an oil glory hole.
Well, I'm going back to the production meetings. I'm sorry.
Okay, jeez. Jerry, AJ, what is this guy's problem? We're talking about Jerry Jones this week on a radio show. He explains what a glory hole is. Please run this from 105.3.
Okay, well, I haven't seen this. Yeah.
105.3, The Fan. Glory hole talk.
Jerry, his agent said, really, I'm getting him signed over there because I want to know Jerry's definition of glory hole and if it's the same as mine. That came from Jadavion's agent. So could you just clarify that for him?
Well, he knows it's an oil field term. Comes from out when you're in the business of drilling wells, and it's when you've basically made a big well, and if mentally or physically picture just drilling a well and all of a sudden having all the oil start coming out at once and going in the air, and that's when you've known you've hit a glory hole.
Jerry,
Coach, how many times have you been either forced or heard the glory hole reference or metaphor to your football team down there in Dallas? Bring a guy in, we struck glory hole with this guy. Is that used on a regular basis? Is the oil terminology used on a regular basis down there with the Cowboys with Jerry Jones?
Yeah, definitely. No, it's definitely a term, and it's part of his great storytelling and analogies. Both the oil business and the pro football. Yes. Definitely, I've heard it a number of times.
So you have had to utilize the words glory and hole as motivation to a locker room in the NFL?
Well, a lot of things that are said in the locker room stay in the locker room.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. That's a good call.
Yeah, hopefully. So AJ can help me out here. But, so definitely. I think everybody that's worked there has heard the term glory hole.
Okay, I never heard it before this one. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I never heard it. But, things aren't always staying in that locker room. As soon as your mallet hit that watermelon, we learned of it.
Yeah.
So, we need to keep this shit tight.